Hello folks, Richard Moore, United States Anti-Gang Stalking Association, Facebook and YouTube, Record U.S. Anti-Gang Stalking. So, obviously I'm driving and got just a magic number of stalkers. And anybody that's targeted, been in traffic, knows what the deal is. So, I mean, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. Mind you, while I'm doing this, my cameras are recording it. The color, harassment, the whole deal. And so as I was leaving out, they ascertained that, and they've got somebody, about a 75 or 80-year-old man doing 75 or 80 in a 45 from Clay County. And of course, usually when somebody rides my bumper and you can't see the headlights of the front bumper and they're that close, then I'm gonna do everything I can to have them about midway up in my car. Okay, I'm trying to get paid myself. You can't get these cowards that tap the brakes, much less stop. I think that's one of the deals that they're brainwashed on. But anyway, and so I couldn't get him. I could have got him stopped, and but I don't have time right now for that, and I'm fully prepared to do that. Stalking, by the way, is a crime. It's not a case of, well, he's throwed off. I don't know what he's talking about. He pinned me in and everything else. Exactly. And I'm gonna do that. And I'll go to whatever means necessary to protect my life and safety. Of course, we all know, if you're a real victim, that of course we can't call law enforcement. That's the fox guard and the hen house. It's a shame that well, you're taking the law in your own hands. No, I'm exercising my constitutional rights. That's what I'm doing. Okay, I don't believe there is a code or law that says you are not allowed to take the law into your own hands. And you can't impersonate a police officer. I can't imagine who would want to. But so until somebody can cite code that says you're not allowed to take the law in your own hands, then I'm gonna keep saying that. All right. Just like these clowns that say, well, the Bible says this, that. Where? Well, I don't know where it is, but it's in there. Well, we'll stop there. I won't stand on it ain't in there until you can show me that it's in there. Well, I'll keep arguing it's in there, but you can't show me where. Okay? I deal in facts. So I'm the proverbial hated fax machine, I guess, because I'm pouring them out. And this is what today's video is about. This is an important video. I've got some that that speak to certain people, and so I don't know who needs to hear what I do, what I say, whatever. I trust God for that end of the deal. But I'm fully aware of the presence and control that the Home Office has on everything a target does as it pertains to everything a target does, especially when it is on a device on any platform via the internet and the social media platforms, etc. We do have constitutionally protected privacy that was circumvented by a temporary measure in the Patriot Act. And it was a broad sweeping thing. It was not shoved down America's throat under the guise of what we really want to turn this into is a program to circumvent due process and the Constitution, all these little roadblocks that hinder our agenda. They didn't spell it out that way. While they're talking about the Patriot Act, instead they've got in the corner or the little banner going across the bottom of the screen, talking about victims, the buildings, terrorists. We're inundated, and America was sensitized to that, and they could go fast enough, pick the rocks up, and start stoning people. So we went over there and spent billions of dollars bombing rock huts and whatever the houses and caves and everything else. 20 years, spent billions rebuilding everything we tore up. And now, of course, that country shooting our military that was over there training their place, shooting them in the back faster than they get in the plane. And of course, Biden, the guy they say is our president, is yawning and looking at his watch when they're talking about it, unloading it. I mean, folks, this is what we're dealing with. But as it pertains to criminal stalking, let me set the pace once again for who I am. I'm not trying to validate myself or sell myself, because I'm not peddling a thing. I don't need validation or somebody standing up. I'm a believer, okay? You need to believe in one thing, and that's Christ and Him crucified, okay? I'm not trying to convert anybody. I am not trying, but I am exposing criminals, whether they be in law enforcement, in a government position, or a private citizen, working together, committing crimes against American citizens. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I'll continue to do. I'm good at what I do. I didn't just fall off the turnip truck. So I want to discuss I'll just discuss the last 24 hours to give you an example of what I'm talking about. The perps that are watching and listening know where I'm going with this, okay? So you might want to grab a Pamper and some popcorn and eat the popcorn as fast as you can, because you'll understand why you'll need the Pamper after the deal. So in the last 24 hours, I get there. I got soccer. Right, man. Okay. It was right, man. Oh, you smiling. Why don't you pull it over? Go and pull over. Well, they're cowards. So anyway, they're made out of, you got full blooded. Can't melt and pour them, okay? You can't melt and pour them on a real person. So anyway, the last 24 hours, I get a very detailed, documented case of stalking as it connects to law enforcement that just so happen to be in federal cases with me right now, okay? That door's already open. In other words, there's already a court date. Can I amend and change and insert? Absolutely. And that's what I intend on doing. Now, they've got their whole storyline of what they're doing and how they do it. So I'm trying to get something. I'm trying to get it and drive. Just a second, I'll get this Exhibit 1 out for you. And I got a whole herd of stalkers behind me, which that's just normal traffic. So I get a text message. Last 48 hours. So I get a text message. Day before yesterday. from it's around 6 o'clock. Through Messenger, yeah, they love Messenger. From perp number 1. That has got neck deep with blood on his body as far as his participation in organized stalking, snitching, sex, and drug trafficking for law enforcement. He's named in 2 federal proceedings right now. He's aware of that. He hadn't asked me about it. I mean, he didn't need to ask me about it. They get that information in real time, what I'm doing. Ain't nobody playing dumb here. Oh, they act, they're actors, and I act. A lot of people try to gauge where I am in a situation and where I'm solid and what I'm standing on. Well, my faith and my belief is solid. There's no guesswork there. But don't cash your money too soon if you think that everything is what it appears, as it pertains to how you think I'm going to strategize what I'm doing. So, against my character and nature, every time I've shown a card, every time, I've handed a card, flashed a card, because they always want to see your hand. They've been old made cards. I've made no. They'll perceive it as a card. Other people will be clueless. The perps are looking at certain things, and I'm saying certain things. They know it, and I know it. So there's a lot of things in the equation that they've miscalculated. So I get this message. I get a message. I got a phone call through Messenger from the perp. It rang, and I answered him. He didn't say a word. He was still lying. Wasn't saying a word. That's not like he's struggling with some kind of trying to figure out connectivity on that. He's well versed in what he's doing. He's not saying anything, but he said a lot. I tried to call back 3 times. I've got all this documented, the timeline. So I got 2 unmarked cop cars, and he got a stalker stopped here behind me, and that's how stalking works. When they stalking these packs, in fact, I might be aggressive. They'll make sure they have these police cars out there to confirm what I'm filming and what I'm talking about. Okay. I've done it time and time again. I'll be filming like I am now, not with this live view, filming, and this also recording what I'm saying, talking about it, and the police will be there. I mean, I've done it so many times. It's like, we're going to teach you how to ride a bicycle. I ain't rode one in a while, but honey, I'm quite sure I can ride one. Okay, I didn't forget. So I mean, that's the way it works. So intuitively, after 3 times, he don't answer. I start laying. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. I said, I can't say he's not going to just call. I mean, you know, it's not. Nothing is just it's random, or nothing is. It's all orchestrated. Psyop, trying to screw your mind up and get you off on a deal. So prior to the last 48 hours, many of you know, I've been talking about Jessica Stacks in Union County, Mississippi is missing. Talked to her mother, and we've talked, and she's talking about the sheriff and so forth. And well, I'm getting noise and racket from all over the place. So is Kathy Story, her mother, and other individuals due to that thing. I'll give you the backstory of that later. That story and what's going on I got some news for you on that. This is what this is about. It's all about what I'm telling you now. So we've got a young lady been missing for 9 months. Found her boots cut off of her, etc., etc., etc. Dateline covered it. It's been in the news and all this stuff. Okay. Some people believe she's dead and buried somewhere. Some people believe otherwise. All right. I get the phone call. So I text back. I've got a copy of that. I said, what's up? I said, so you don't have any talk now. I've tried to call you back 3 times. I said, a cat must have got your tongue. Now, prior to that, I get a video call from that individual. And he's talking, telling me some random, bizarre something that don't make no sense. I don't know if any victims out there have dealt with stalkers. That you can't comprehend anything they're talking about. I mean, okay, I mean, it's like you have to quit, go in there. I mean, they'll say something, and you got to, you have to get engaged to clarify what they're really saying. There's a whole big roaring monster behind those little tip-offs like that. So he said, I know he's got a little kitten. It's identical to the kitten that somebody threw off on me. It's with Dr. Sandman. It's identical. And he knows that I had a kitten, I don't have a kitten. And he also knows that my cat that belonged to my deceased sister that I took care of for years was my best friend, was killed by these despots, tyrants, and perverted, lying, corrupt law enforcement and their bizarre yet very criminal activities against people. That's the kind of stuff they deal in. From your pet to your mama, they don't care. So evil knows there's not color within the lines, okay? He said, so I got my cat, and I want to put tattoos on him. Now he knows that from years ago, I always wanted one of those cats. I forgot what they call it. I had any hair, get one of those. How cool it'd be tatted up. And I said, well, that's mutilation. But anyway, I said, I mutilated myself, and but I don't consider it mutilation. Some people do. Some people do it because of self-esteem issues or whatever. I don't know. But at any rate, so he knows I know this. So he said, but he ain't got a cat like that. I think's what they call it. But he ain't got a cat like that because these frontline crash dummies are broke, will always be broke, and will die broke, okay? They don't have nothing. That's why they're so good at and so gung-ho on stalking for law enforcement people that are aspiring not to be a deadbeat drag on society like they are, to destroy and take from them. See, it's not hard to work that envy part of evil, and it works for them. He said, so I skinned my cat and tried to put a tattoo on him, and I said, whoa, you skinned your cat? And he smiled. I said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And then he goes on to something else. Now, what was he saying? Well, I'll tell you what he was saying. I've been posting stuff in a private group about criminal snitches and stalkers in North Mississippi. There's not many people in it. Didn't take but one perk to get the news out, but it's loaded up with them, okay? I'm saying it all, but they're in there. You can believe that. There ain't no such a thing as that not being possible. That's the way the deal is. So I'm well aware of that. And they can't wait to try to jump in there thinking, I'm going to post some secret critical information they need to pass along. Really? Well, y'all are. I tell you what, y'all need to put down the comic books. So, I said, so more than one way to skin a cat. I said, there damn sure is more than one way to skin a cat. He was directed at me. This is a guy that, in a failed attempt to commit murder against me, under the direction of Sheriff Jimmy Edwards, Union County, Mississippi. I have eyewitnesses, material facts, everything. None of it is speculative. Every bit of it is factual and can be proven. That's fact, Jack. They want to stop that. Why are they stalking me right now? Why are they pressing me so heavy? They're playing by the same small playbook. I don't give a damn what kind of cat they think. Oh, there's more than one way to skin a cat. That's a figure of speech. Okay? There ain't but one way to skin this cat. And put a bullet right between my eyes. That's the only way you're going to skin this cat. I've already told y'all that, but you're not getting it. Oh, he's a good guesser. He thinks he's got a gift from God. He's intuitive. Let me tell you, I don't guess at anything. And when you mock God and the Holy Spirit, mocking the Holy Spirit, that's blaspheming the Holy Ghost, which is an unpardonable sin. It's not, oh God, I didn't know, I'm sorry, forgive me. Sorry. Absolutely sorry. You can't commit blasphemy and be ignorant that you've done it and that you're doing it. You didn't before you did it. You had already conspired and perpetrated to do that regardless of what this individual said. That's how they get you locked in. So what'd you do? Well, you sold your soul to the devil. Many of them know it. Many of them they have meetings and stuff, support and all that. You know, they support them and pat them on the back and do whatever else they need. But when they separate, that pumps them up. Everybody leaves out motivated, excited, and confident about what they're doing. It didn't take long. They get along by themselves, it hits them again. I'd hate to be in their shoes. So I had two perpetrators in the car with me. I'm not going to name their names right now due to imminent. They know who they are, etc. And so not long after this obscure phone call from Stalker One, then I start getting a more give and take text messaging from an individual. That was the individual that insisted I look at the Jessica Stack story. It came out of the blue. So I'm not going to go into the backstory until later. How they insert them with a real deal to build trust. They're trying to do something quick here. Go on YouTube, it's all kind of views. Like, I start jumping through hoops and stuff. If it gets 100 views or 1 million views, you know how much stock I put in that? Zero. All of my chips are in one basket, and God's got that basket, okay? I'm not feeding into that baloney hype. So all of this stuff's playing, and then I get all these people coming out of the woodworks. They know where she is. They know what happened. Blah 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 blah. I'm pumping the brakes at this point. It doesn't take about 2 or 3. I'm not getting things. I'm getting things. I'm picking up what's being put down. So I picked these up. 2. It's a couple of them. Now the stalker, the male, had already indicated before the girlfriend was a stalker. Well, I don't know, back and forth. He indicated that he was a victim of target. If a person has been targeted, if they're a real target, really, they don't even have to tell me. I can look them in the eye and tell. I know without ever having a discussion pertaining any of that. Period, boys and girls. There's not a question, there's not a sign or marker or something I look for. Oh God, they've tried to get that out of me. Well, good luck with all that. So I'm thinking, this storyline, what's happening here, it's already played out before with another individual. We'll come to find out he went to school with knows. Same deal, same scenario. Okay, and of course she was out on the deal too. On the first one, sweet, nice as could be. Didn't really throw her 2 cents worth in as far as it goes to of him continuously the first of many. I mean, he wasn't the first. This guy in Union County, same stuff. I'm like, oh, I mean, I already know. They're like, I'm just getting sucker punched or something, because they feel like as they're baiting and putting that out there, I'm taking the bait. I'll get on in there with the alligators, honey. I'll do it. And what have I got to do? Pretend like a jellyfish? Whatever it is, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get in there with alligators. Okay? I'm not scared to get in there with them. And I'm going to stay in there with them. And I'm going to figure out who the biggest, baddest alligator is in that pond. And I'm going to keep getting in there with them. If they want me to keep getting there with them, now alligators better start eating this boy here, because I'm going to keep doing it. And so we go to my place and leave and do some driving, and this is, so I see a intentional, this is old stalking deal. You got perps that in the home office are intentionally dragging me in time. In other words, I'm being delayed unnecessarily. Why would somebody want to delay me from getting back to my house? Unless they wanted to set up all the props and all the BS that they use to terrorize and torture another human with. That's what that is. Okay, it's exactly what it is. And so I'm gonna try to wrap it up. So while I'm waiting on this individual, and this is with me, they're out walking around and so forth, and they find a comfortable place to talk, and I don't know what they're talking about, who they're talking to, or anything else. I make several trips back, ascertain where they are. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's paying attention to anything. They never do. Now, this laying there is just an old Tide box with an analog microphone like that, very close to where they were. And you know what? To say, well, what were they talking about? Well, that's right here, okay? Now, that's one of many things that we're working with, boys and girls. It's also things when I sat in the car at different times. whether my car's on or not, I've got 2, not 1, motion activated cameras. And it don't matter if you knock it off the window or whatever. I noticed later on that it was knocked off the window. The girl said it was like that when we first got in your car. You don't know me. There was other things that were disturbing my car. It was like that. That's gaslighting. But I have voice and footage to the contrary of those 2 minor things that were insinuating you're slipping, you're tripping. It wasn't like that. You didn't see that. That's gaslighting, okay? Oh, okay. I go along with it. And so, this time I want to skin that cat. So, this individual pushed the Jessica Stackstill missing person publicity, the sheriff's in it, corruption. You're going to blow him out of the water with all this. And let me tell you, without any of that, boys and girls, what I've got in court, what I'm saying, and my substantial evidence, if I never get another stick, I can file cases till now until the time the cows come in. I don't need any help. I'm not looking for that. My mission to help and assist victims is crucial, and that's what I'm going to do. And they try to exploit it. And I won't go through the whole process of the stalking event and what the perpetrators did, but they were well trained and coached better than the last ones, all I can say. Okay? He'd already told me. She's quiet. She don't say much. Okay? You know, these people that pretend to be the quiet, shy people, I've never... Those are usually the people, you know, people just that have skeletons in their closet. They talk long enough, a bone will fly out. But these shy ones that don't talk much, they keep their mouth shut because they got a damn cemetery in their closet. I mean, you be getting hit all directions from skeletons, bones and stuff. She don't talk much. She done been told, don't engage him. Here, keep it friendly, keep it not, don't talk about that stuff. And he thinks he knows something like that. All this stuff to try to throw me off. And boy, everything about this individual, it was obvious. I mean, it was obvious. And so I get the male stalker. It's like, he said, well, I believe that the federal government's got something to do with it. I said, what? I said, oh, I didn't know we was talking about that. I said, I don't sit here and talk about that. What I said, have you not? I mean, yes. Well, a few minutes later, he's saying it again. That's like saying, what's that noise? That's my ice maker. And then here again, what's that noise? That's my ice maker. A third time, it gets annoying, you know? Because when they're trying to, whatever they're doing, they feel like when they're questioning, trying to figure something out, first of all, that's perp crap, okay? Look, you're not asking me any questions. You're saying what you think. You're listening with your mouth open. Nothing you have said or done or demonstrated from day one until that moment gave me any indication that you were a victim of organized stalking. But everything that indicated that you were a participant in organized stalking and a criminal is ever present and provable beyond a reasonable doubt. And it's the criminal bar that must be met. Okay, that can be met. I've just given you a sample. Perps, y'all get huddle up on what I'm talking about here. The sheriff of Union County And the home office gets together and said, we have got to shut this guy up. We got a court date. How are we going to shut him down? How are we going to get this self-employment? Because he's not blowing up. Well, listen to this. Let's exploit someone else we've exploited. He's going to catch it. He's going to do a video about it. Because we're going to have some of our creep stalkers send snippets of misinformation, whatever, to put you in it. And we're going to make sure that he picks the deal up. He's going to get it. Through that, we're going to flood him with a whole new group of crash dummy stalkers that he don't know. And we're going to have him running around, and we're going to get one, and we're going to coach him well. They're not going to slip up. He's not going to smell a rat. If my phone rings, before I look at the screen, I smell a damn rat. I don't know how y'all think you're going to prevent me from smelling a rat. So now, if I stop him, finally, the stalkers, they've told him, get down there and sit on the side of the road. So, Sheriff Jimmy Edwards of Union County, when we talk about obstruct justice and what the lengths he'll go to destroy an individual, if murder, that didn't work, we got something even better. It was nearly a repeat on a different and more evil, and I don't think there's just different levels of how bad the felony is. There is. It's murder or attempted murder or whatever. But I'm going to tell you, it's pretty bad because you're exploiting not only the missing person, the victim, but the victim's mother, family, friends, and loved ones that are not in on the deal. That's what you're exploiting at their expense. Using that as a gateway to destroy me. Nice try, Jimmy Edwards. I'm going to be able to articulate this in minute, fine detail in my supplement to what is already in court. Now, both perpetrators agreed, and I have audio of that they wouldn't mind appearing in federal court as a material witness to the facts surrounding that period of time. No, we'd both be more than glad to. Yeah, if you're watching this tonight, remember that. I asked it for a reason. Okay? Now, I know your handler said, oh, we've got this. We can tell you before he blinks. We know if he's going to sneeze or not. They've got you doing that. So when they do all their antics, and they put all this stupid stuff and rig all this crap up outside of my house, it's harmless and all that. No. Not when it is part of your tools that you use to commit crimes against another human being. Okay? Got to put it together. All the ingredients. If you want a cake, flour, sugar, eggs, all that. I've got that. I don't just have the ingredients to make the cake, honey. The cake's done. This is the icing, by the way. I can give you all the icing. Now, I met Don King back in the 90s. I recognized him. I was at the Sheraton, LAX Sheraton. And Don King will go down in history as the greatest boxing promoter. He changed how boxing that ever lived. Don King. Convicted felon, rap sheet of Longer in the state of California, including manslaughter for all this. He won't be remembered for that. He's going to be remembered for that. From Ali to Tyson and everybody in between, he's handling them. Don King. And he was checking out in a gift shop. I seen the hair. I didn't have to see his face. I knew it was a big man. And I said, hold on a minute. So I paid for whatever I had. I think I got a tour to the where the stars lived in Hollywood. I didn't take the tour. It was just, I think, something to give my wife. I don't, you know, me riding in a bus with a bunch of lurking stalkers wanting to oogle where somebody lives is it wasn't my thing then. It's not, damn sure not my thing now. But the fact that that's the kind of book I had, and those people that follow celebrities around, spooky. How prophetic. So we walked out, I said, Don King. He smiled, and he started extending his hand before I did. And of course, I was fast to the catch on that. I shook his hand, and I says, you know, this is about 11 o'clock at night. We had a long layover, and so the group I was with, people I worked with, we were getting ready to fly to Papeete, Tahiti, for a 10-day cruise and stop over in the South Pacific, all the islands of Bora Bora, Moorea, Raiatea, and so forth. And so we were, it was just 200 of us on a privately chartered 4-masted schooner sail ship, okay? And so this was a 10-day excursion. And so we were on a little bit of a layover to catch the flight into Papeete. And so it was the middle of the night. So my ex-wife, then, I said, you got to get this for the cameras on the phone. I said, get the camera out. Why? I said, boy, I said, you know, gets married. You know what? Exactly that conversation. I said, Don King was saying, I said, this is Don King. I want a picture with him. She's like, you know, I'm always, she's not taking me serious, you know. I mean, to this day. But let's get the camera, you know. I was trying to be as insistent as I could and talk through my teeth without, you know, this thing. She gets it out, and can I get it? Yeah. So I get a picture with him. So we get a couple of snapshots, and I asked him. I said, you went from, I know that you had a criminal past, something like that, and now, at that time, his net worth was 400 or 500 million. It's way surpassed that now, but and I says it's people like you that I admire. I aspire to achieve that type of success, something along those lines. All in America. I said, well, what are you doing here at this time of night? And about that time, what he was doing here was coming through the door with his entourage, and it was Julio Cesar Chavez, which was the world champion lightweight or feather, one of them. And he says, Cesar Chavez. I mean, he's like making an announcement like he's in the ring and all this stuff. And of course, there's people out in this lobby of the Sheraton. And it starts, of course, that you can't help. We've drawn some attention, and so I didn't know who Chavez was from Juarez. I knew, you know, I knew Don King is. And I know the people that count. I'm not saying he can count. He says, "Come on, I introduce you to him." And he had an entourage. I'm telling you. And of course, you know, I'm walking up to with Don King. Of course, the entourage, they moved back. Yep, who I am doesn't matter. I'm with Don King, and he introduced us. And I shook Chavez. I shook his hand, and I firm hand grip, and then he went like this, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not thinking. You know, this man makes a living with his hands, and you know, here I am grabbing his hand, giving a firm handshake, and it's like chopping an opera singer in the throat before they go out, you know. That I didn't slap rock that deal up. So I got pictures with Chavez and all that. So it was a highlight, is what I'm saying. Forward into my intense stalking, being set up and framed by the feds and corrupt law enforcement. it always came back. I said, everything happens for a reason. This is a fight. I'm in a fight. God was allowing me when there was a lot of things going on in my life, at the pinnacle of one of my successes, within a few years, from living in the basement and a dirt floor to now, I'm going on a very expensive, exclusive trip, and Club Med, the whole deal. Private helicopter, the whole deal. But meeting Don King and the story there, it's a fight. As I continue to fight for justice, I continue to get played. He's just a talker. He's just putting on. We'll show you. You know, George Foreman, he had a left hook, a punch, when he was a hitter. And one of them landed, he was knocked out. You're not going to take too many out. After he retired, he come back as an old man and proved it again about how he knocked somebody out. Muhammad Ali was not a power hitter. He was a combination hitter. But before he changed his name, he was born Cassius Clay, the heavyweight giant, and he still is. I mean, a massive, a true heavyweight, Sonny Liston. He was bigger than Ali, stronger, longer reach, more skill. And I'm telling you, Sonny Liston, let him land one. Let him get you with that left hook. Baby, you're down. It's not something you got to think about, and that was Sonny Liston. Cassius Clay had beaten everybody he fought, and he wanted the title fight. They didn't want to fool with him. Man, he's young. He's a 20-year-old man talking trash. But Ali invented talking. He also cashed all those checks he wrote too. And he said, finally, after 2 months of publicity, of absolute instigating, and calling him Sonny Liston names and everything else, Sonny Liston make it happen. 1965, May 1965, the year I was born. Ali went in as a 7-point underdog, I believe. He trained just for the Liston fight. Liston likes to pin him against, when he gets you on the ropes, that's it. Do not let him get you on the ropes. And he learned to maneuver and duck and dodge as it pertains to Liston's left side, where it would make it impossible for him to get him with that left hook. He wasn't going to give him that opportunity. It's played for 16 rounds, I believe. Quote me on that. The first round, they come out, and Ali is all over the place. Liston is not dancing and shuffling like Ali. He's trying to catch him. He's trying to hem him up. Ali come in, pop, pop, and back up. And Liston throw a punch, and Ali was dodging, and then he come in, pop, pop, chip, chip. And Liston didn't like that, you know. Bell rings. They go to their corner. Liston didn't even sit down. He stood up. I'm going to get this dude. Well, to make a long story short, I believe it was in the 7th round. He said he couldn't get a hit. He could not get a hit. But Ali, when he go in there with those pecs, he was working on Liston's left eye, I believe. Bam, bam. He kept working on it until he closed it. and incrementally till he closed it. But I believe it was in the 7th round or 6th or 7th round. Apparently, and it's believed by a lot of people, the trainer is in the corner there, rubs something on Liston's glove, probably a Vaseline with maybe cayenne pepper or something in it. And Ali went to the corner and he said, I can't see. I cannot see. And most trainers and managers would throw the towel in, go out there, and do what you were standing here to do. Do what you came to do. Ali went, this is fact, folks. Ali goes into the ring, and you can see the video footage. He's trying to see. He's keeping his hand out to gauge where Liston is, where he can continue, and he made it through that round. And he got his sight back. Many of us have been there, blinded by lies and deception. It's little dirty tricks like that. But eventually, you say the course. If you don't throw the towel in, you go do what you're sitting here to do. That's what I'm doing. It's the end of the 8th round. I believe it's the 8th round. Ali was relentlessly working on those eyes. And Liston, when he went to the corner, he sat down, and it was agreed on that he wasn't going to stand back up for the next round. Muhammad Ali became the world champion. TKO. Sonny Liston, the greatest. And let me give you the quote. Ali was shouting, and that when the reporters put the microphone out, Ali said, I shook the world, I shook the world, I shook the world. Let me tell you, yes he did. Cassius Clay shook the world. He shook the world. He shook the world. That's going to be my victory speech. That's my intentions. That's what I inspire to do. So I'll get in that ring, that alligator pit, and I'll roll with any devil you want to send to me. But you can believe me, my intentions, as it pertains to exposing corruption in law enforcement and these perpetrators, it can't be proven. I'm telling you, the last 40 hours, I'm sedge-waging that into a door that's already open, ladies and gentlemen. I've asked for injunctive relief. And so when I ask for this injunctive relief, I'm going to detail how serious this has become. And I'm going to name the names, of course, the sheriff and all that stuff. We're going to lay that out there, and how he's used the Jessica Stacks deal to exploit this. Okay, that's the can of worms y'all opened up. Okay, do the math on it. Do the math. Share, like. I appreciate your prayers. Victims, keep your heads up. And I don't hate these perps and stalkers. I do hate the evil that drives you. And if you think that somehow, that with all the things that they have taught you, and all the stuff that's the psychological warfare, all of that stuff, there's a caveat to that. I'm already reading resumes, and they're expensive. And don't worry about who's going to pay for it or anything else. To testify, expert witness, published, got plenty of stuff published and all that stuff. Okay? It's going to be hard to top this deal. To testify and break down these unexplainable unprovable things. I'm going to break it down, and then we're going to have an expert explain it in their terms. And I'm telling you, corrupt law enforcement and these ass clowns